Welcome to Football with Cheese. Wow. There's something I did not expect. Kirk Cousins is signing with the Raiders to be their quarterback. I still don't understand this, and I will go over it in this video. But first, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notification so you never miss one of my videos. Okay, before we get into it, let's just go over the compensation. According to Adam Schefter, I saw his tweet first, Kirk Cousins will sign a 5-year, $172 million deal with the Raiders. Obviously, that's not the real compensation because it's basically a 1-year, fully guaranteed $20 million deal that contains a club option for 2 years, $80 million. A lot of times they'll give you longer contracts, push it into future years just to help the cap out. Like Travis Kelce, for example, signed a 3-year contract, but it's basically a 1-year deal with a 2-year option. The Falcons will pay Cousins $8.7 million this season, and the Raiders will pay $1.3. So basically, he'll make $10 million this year, and he gets a fully guaranteed $10 million roster bonus on the third day of the 2027 new league year. So here's what's positive about it. You're only paying him $1.3 million this year. The Falcons are eating up the rest. But you are guaranteeing $10 million next year when he will very likely not be the starter or not even on your team. Very, very likely Fernando Mendoza will be the starting quarterback in 2027. Like 99% chance. And I doubt Kirk Cousins will even be on the team. I don't know if he'll accept being a backup. And that's my biggest issue with this. So when the Falcons gave Kirk Cousins 4 years, $180 million, fully guaranteed, still goes down as one of the worst contracts of all time. If the Browns do not trade and sign Deshaun Watson, it is probably the worst contract of all time for a quarterback. But because the Browns are so stupid and they did that deal for Deshaun Watson, people aren't going to talk about this nearly as much. But Kirk Cousins will now have 11 straight years of his career guaranteed for a player that has one career playoff win as a starter. He's never been a good quarterback. Maybe in his prime he was above average, but he's never really been very good. He doesn't have a great arm. He had a lot of talent around him in Minnesota, made him look a little bit better. But even that playoff win against the Saints, they should absolutely have lost. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I believe that was the Marcus Williams game where he was so worried about getting a pass interference, so he basically held up and let the Vikings receiver catch it for a long touchdown, went to overtime. So if the Saints don't completely blow that game, then Kirk Cousins is 0-3 instead of 1-3 in the playoffs all time. He shouldn't have any playoff wins. And here's why I just don't like this at all. Kirk Cousins was actually a distraction in Atlanta. No one in the media is going to bring this up. If you remember from a couple years ago, when they drafted Michael Penix Jr., right after signing him, he was pissed. He was not happy knowing he's not going to be the starter there long term. And he did get benched 2/3, 3/4 of the way through his first season in Atlanta. He did not sign there to be a bridge. He did not sign there to be a backup. And I'm telling you right now, the reason Kirk Cousins waited this long to sign is because he wants to be a starter. He does not want to be a bridge. He is signing this contract because he thinks he's going to be the starter for the entire year and possibly beyond. But there's no way. They're drafting Fernando Mendoza. We all know this. Now, I saw a thing online. Clint Kubiak doesn't want to start a rookie right away. Look, I get it. The Raiders don't have a very good receiving core. They don't have a very good offensive line. So Mendoza could struggle a lot early in his career if you just throw him to the Wolves. And a lot of first-round busts are quarterbacks that were thrown to the Wolves, that started right away. Because that's what the fans wanted to see. So let's just throw him out there. And they lost confidence. But this is Fernando Mendoza we're talking about. I don't think he's as pro-ready as Andrew Luck or Joe Burrow. And he ran a lot of RPOs. He ran kind of a college offense. So he might have to adjust. But he is so mentally tough. He is always positive. His intangibles are off the charts. I think he can handle it. Look at players like Troy Aikman, Peyton Manning, Josh Allen, who struggled the rookie year. They had unbelievable careers because they were mentally tough. And Fernando Mendoza is mentally tough. So I think he can handle it if you play him right away. Now, if you don't want to play him right away, I have no problem with that either. Let him learn the offense. Let's get some young receivers and offensive line, let them develop first, and we'll put Mendoza out maybe halfway through the season. Okay, if you want to do that, Clint Kubiak, no problem. In fact, it's probably a good idea to get a bridge quarterback to start for 5, 6, maybe 9 games halfway through the year to make sure Fernando Mendoza is ready. But don't sign someone who expects to be the starter the entire year and maybe going forward. I'm telling you right now, Kirk Cousins expects to be the starter for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's not going to want to be a bridge. It was a huge problem in Atlanta. He did not sign a free agent contract till now because he wanted a starting opportunity. I'm sure half the league offered him a backup role. Because at this point in his career, he's probably a good backup. Average starter at best, probably below average starter. So I would have signed someone like a Tyrod Taylor or a Gardner Minshew, who signed with the Cardinals. Somebody like that, who's been a career backup that can maybe win you some games early in the season, maybe be a good mentor to Fernando Mendoza, and then halfway through the year, you make the change. But this, I just don't love. And why are you guaranteeing a guy that you know will not be your starter in 2027? Why are you guaranteeing him $10 million? Kirk Cousins has the best agent in sports history. Mike McCartney, not Mike McCarthy. Mike McCartney has to be the best agent in sports history, or all these teams are just stupid. Because Kirk Cousins is not a franchise quarterback. And you keep guaranteeing him all this money. The Raiders are paying a guy that's not going to be the starter next year guaranteed $10 million roster bonus. Just absolutely stupid. They needed to sign a backup who was willing to be a bridge, willing to be a mentor to Fernando Mendoza, and not someone that expects to start the entire year. I hate this signing. I saw this when I woke up, and I was like, I got to make a video about this. Do you think I'm overreacting? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you like this signing? Raider fans, are you a little worried? Because I am. I think this could be a distraction, and both quarterbacks are going to want to play. Fernando Mendoza will say all the right things. Of course he will. He'll say, I'm excited Kirk Cousins is there too. I can learn from him. He will say things like that because it's Fernando Mendoza. But if I'm Mendoza, if I'm his family, I'm pissed right now. Because there's a chance you're not going to start until toward the end of the season, especially if the Raiders get off to a good start. Like Michael Penix Jr. didn't start till very late in the season with the Falcons because they signed Kirk Cousins. Once again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Sorry, I got a little grumpy there. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Share this with anyone who loves football. I cover all 32 teams on this channel. Me and Mike, we do the Lights Out podcast every Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Link is in the description. Check out these videos if you have not, and I'll see you in the next one.